Hi, I'm Juan Gonzalez, and I'm here to talk to you about Alan Turing, who he was, and how it is that he helped change the world. Alan Madison Turing was born June 23, 1912, to Julius and Ethel Turing, and he is best known as the founder of computer science. He was also a well-renowned mathematician. His concept of the Turing machine is the foundation of the modern theory of computation and compatibility. His concept is also like that of a formula or an equation, where there could be an infinite amount of Turing machines, each of them corresponding to different algorithms. He applied these concepts during World War II, where he served for the British armies. At the start of World War II, he took position at the wartime cryptanalytic headquarters at Bletchley Park. He would go day in and day out with 4 other colleagues to try and decode Enigma. Now, if you don't know, Enigma was a coding source used by the German naval force to plot its attacks on the Allied forces. Enigma was seen to be as one of the most, if not the most, impossible coding source to be decoded. Coding was something that would be very essential to World War II. Turing was seen as an outcast and as somewhat of a psychopath by his colleagues, because he would himself go day in and day out to work in isolation on his machine that he called Christopher. Christopher, he believed, would be the solution to the problem of Enigma. He would later be seen as an enemy to the British state because his coding device would be taking way too long to decode Enigma, but would later decode Enigma at the end of 1941. Around that time, he would also propose to one of his colleagues, Joanne Clark, but would later retract his proposal because he would admit that he was a homosexual. Now, homosexuality at the time was a crime that could put you in prison for years. After his work in the army, he would later go on to be the deputy director of computing at Manchester University. During his time at Manchester University, Turing would find a lover and would later be convicted of this crime of homosexuality. At that time, he would have 2 choices: to either go to prison or take shots of oxygen. Oxygen would give his homosexual tendencies away, or so the doctors believe, and it would drive his mind crazy. It would drive him to the point of suicide at one point, to end his life. Turing died as an enemy, but would later be seen as a hero in the year 2013 through the movie The Imitation Game. To me, The Imitation Game showed me who Alan Turing was. At that point, I didn't know who he was, and it's really sad because without Turing's machine, without Christopher, the Turing machine, our technological world would not be so advanced. The Turing machine revolutionized the world itself. Without it, without his mind, we wouldn't have any online classes. We wouldn't have this online speech class. Turing, in my belief, is one of the most ideological and most influential people of the 20th century. And